Joining us now, Vice President of Basketball Operations, the General Manager of the Los Angeles Lakers, Rob Pelinka. Rob, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate you joining us, my friend. Let's just start with this. How's the family? How's everyone doing in your household?
Well, so I'm married to a doctor, right? So this is a time when anyone providing health services just becomes a hero.
Yeah.
And just seeing how her and her colleagues and other healthcare providers are operating during this pandemic, it's unbelievable. So so appreciative of all that work and our UCLA Health partnership and just all the care providers. And then we have a 12-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter. Of course, they're doing their Zoom school at home during the week. And then on the weekend, lots of pretty ferocious games of family Scrabble are going on around the dinner table.
Yeah, you got to keep those competitive juices going. And by the way, please thank your wife from all of us. So I appreciate you sharing that. And listen, Rob, I know these last couple of months for you have been very tough on a personal side with the loss of Kobe and Gigi. But I want to reflect on over the weekend when it became official that Kobe Bryant was going into the Basketball Hall of Fame. You were a big part of that journey. You were with him the entire way. So it's kind of a two-part question. What did it mean to you, and what does it mean to Kobe Bryant, a man who was so in touch with the history of the game and all the players that came before him?
You know, of course, the day that Kobe officially was nominated into the Basketball Hall of Fame was a day of mixed emotions. I think, of course, you're so grateful for that accomplishment for him. It's the pinnacle of everything he worked for as a basketball player. And, you know, and kind of reflecting on it, he was one of the first players, I think, that really invested in reaching out to the all-time greats. I remember his, call to do like a footwork session with Hakeem Olajuwon. And of course, it's chronicled all his conversations with Michael Jordan and, Magic on Lakers legacy, and just the way he tapped into the legends to build it into his game. He was inspired by all of them. And now, a part of him will live in the Hall of Fame forever. And the inspiration kind of goes back where he was taking it from the other greats, but now he's one of them, continuing to live on and inspire all of us. And so that was a day of mixed emotions, of course. Sadness, too, that he wasn't here in person to receive that news. We all know Kobe was one that was very slow to talk about his own accomplishments, but I know this is one that he would be particularly proud of.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Rob. And as we segue into basketball, listen, I know this time you're obviously focused on being a father, a husband, a teacher, and a tutor to those kids, but you're also the GM and the Vice President of Basketball Operations. What is your daily routine like, Rob, and how have things changed? What are you guys working on?
It's interesting. I think first and foremost, all of us start our day with, thoughts and prayers for all the people that are affected by COVID-19. But then, much like the rest of the world and the rest of our country, we do have to figure out a path forward, which includes our work and our jobs. And as we've always said, the Lakers nation and Lakers fans inspire us to do great things. And we're continuing to, hope that we get a chance to finish this season. And to do that, we have to stay connected. We have to stay together. There's a lot of talk with the players, of course, over text and Zoom, and Coach Vogel and I talk, and the coaching staff talks. I know they're continuing to study game film and tapes from games this year. And then we have to also think about preparation for June and July and what the draft and free agency brings. So there's lots of, interactions and study around players that were playing in college or overseas. And then thinking forward to, free agency for what would happen after the season. And I don't say that thinking that this season won't finish. I just say that all of us are forward looking and always planning for the future. And so that work does continue, and we have an obligation to the Lakers fans to continue on a pathway of excellence.
Rob, what's the latest that you're hearing from the league on what the NBA is thinking and what they might return? At least what can you share with us?
I think Adam Silver's leadership in this time has been amazing, and the league as a whole is very proactive with disseminating information and constantly having update calls with GMs and with board of governors, and they do an incredible job, sharing information. They also collaborate and work really hard with Michelle Roberts and the Players Union, who they do an outstanding job as well. Because I think all the decisions we make as a league are partnership decisions. It's the teams and the owners and the franchises, but also then the players and their voice in this. In terms of what the future holds, I think this story seems to change every day as new things unfold. I think it's getting to the end of this month and then assessing where things are. Thankfully, it appears that the numbers that all of us are studying are showing that in some places there is a flattening or a smoothing of the curve, and that's something, of course, all these efforts are rallied around, and it's good to see that news if it's positive. At the same time, we know there are areas of the country that are being deeply impacted in really, really hard ways, and as I said before, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the people affected by it. But I do think it's getting to the end of this month where hopefully we see some success with the flattening of the curve, and then getting to a point where hopefully there's some blue sky to start to assess what a path forward might look like. But I think it's too early to have definitive dates or definitive plans in place at this time.
All right. We appreciate you, Rob. Thank you so much for taking the time, and look forward to talking to you again. Thank you.
Yeah, safety and prayers to you and your family and everybody in Lakers Nation. And thanks for this time to jump on. It's definitely good to see people, and appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, right back at you, and make sure you give our love to your family as well, my friend.
Take care.